All right. Check that. Make sure that's right. That seems to be going. That's green. I'm going to double check this right here. Make sure this is right. Excuse me. Oh my. Okay, looks like my stuff is up. Everything's running. We're going to minimize this screen because the only screen that we are going to need. There's that. Change this to live and we should be live. I know we're live at a different time, not our normal time, that's 100% sure, but I felt like this was the kind of video that I'd rather do a much bigger, quick thing than what we normally do, and I will get into that here soon. What's going on? Yes, this is definitely weird timing, and it's not one of our normal broadcasts, quote unquote. So here's what's going on. There's a lot of stuff dropping. There's a lot of people talking. There's a lot of things out there. I've actually been sent a couple of things, which I don't know if that almost, I don't know. It's a weird feeling to see that people are now like on Instagram and stuff like that, sending me messages like, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? I'm not complaining about it. That's actually kind of cool because it's not something that's really happened. It shows me that the show must actually be working, that there's enough people out there that are like, are we going to talk about this? Are you seeing this? Are you thinking about buying any of this? Well, that's cool. And I got to thinking about it and I was like, well, what am I really doing right now with the last couple hours of my night? Well, in all honesty, nothing. And for what it's worth, most of this stuff I haven't seen. So I got to thinking about it. And I was like, what's a good resource to go ahead and check some of this stuff out in real time? Well, I loaded up and found on ToyArk, they have a full list, a full coverage roundup with links to all stories. And they have pictures for every single one of those, which will give us a chance to kind of look over different things. And there's a lot here because, ooh, this is a big show. Guys, this is a big show. There's no other way to put it. Holy crap. There looks like a lot of stuff coming out. And this is only like the first day, right? Is today the first day or was yesterday the first day? I'm trying to remember if it's a Saturday, Sunday, or if it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Either way, there's been news dropping like crazy for new figures coming out and things like that. And I figured, hey, let's just give it its own video, its own live, its own talk, and let's just do it. You know what I mean? And this will be the first time we've ever done this for this channel, and we'll see how it goes. That's all I'm really worried about. Did you see the Toy Fair pics of the DC Mattel figures? I don't know. I have not seen yet. That's actually, I hope to see those right here real time as we're talking about things. Let's see. I'll say this. All companies are firing on all cylinders. That is fantastic news. That's fantastic news, and I'm really hoping, because look, today was Valentine's Day, of course, and I had things that I was doing. But I was still getting messages and things like that all day today, like, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? And most of my answers today was, no, I'm really looking forward to it. Or they'd send me like a picture and be like, check this out. So I've seen a couple things. It's impossible nowadays to not see a couple things, right? But I have not seen a lot of it. Most of it, I would argue. So I'm going to see what I can. Now, like literally now, that's what we're going to be doing. So this is, I'm going over to, ToyArk and I'm going to load up their list and then I'm going to load up some pages and then we're going to see what we can see. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And I will try to get, some opinions and whatnot going and just enjoy the hobby in general, because that is literally what we are doing here. So here it is. Here's their list. Here's all the links and all the stories that they did today, all the information as far as I am aware. And we're just going to start right up here, and we're going to click on, looks like Loyal Subjects, Mask Jim Moore, and check out what that is. So they have a list of pictures here and whatnot, and we're going to check it out. Now, I have mentioned this before. Mask is a weird situation with me. Even looking at these toys, and assuming that these are close enough to the originals, I do not have that information. Assuming any of this is close enough to the originals, I should recognize something. As I mentioned before, somehow this toy line literally feels like some sort of fever dream. Like, I'm dead serious. I know this was a thing. I know people like this. I know people have talked about it. I do not remember any of this. Like, to the point that this literally sometimes feels like a weird dream. Like it was never a thing. That's the only way I can explain it. Like it was never a thing. Like it wasn't real. I mean, of course it has to be. But like, wow. It just, somehow I really don't. I saw some of McFarlane's Image comic figures, and holy moly, they look good. I saw a couple. We're going to get to those as we go down this list. Hey, what's going on, man? Hey. So let's keep going. This is... I don't have anything that I can really add to any of this. Like I said, I know of Mask, but when it comes right down to it, it's one of those weird things that, like, it feels like it never actually happened. I cannot understand it for the life of me. Oh, Jim. Okay, I see him down there. So, today, I had to stop by Walmart for a little while, and I was there with my wife. And we went into the toy section just to walk through it. And I think it was her. I think it was that Jim doll right there. Like, it's weird if this is at Toy Fair. Would it already be on the shelf? I saw a Jim doll in packaging almost exactly like that today of Jim. I seen it at the Walmart. And when we seen it, both, we were walking through, because we walked through, the toy aisles and just kind of glance for the most part. And we're walking through, and I said, "Is that Jim?" And she goes, "What?" And she pulls it off the shelf and everything, and she's looking at it, and she's going, "What? It is? What?" And she was kind of shocked about it, and I definitely didn't know it was coming back out. So, like that looks like what it was. Is that already in stores? And that makes it weird that they would be showing it here as some sort of reveal, unless it was somehow shipped. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is the next wave of something else that's already out. I don't follow Jim, so I couldn't say anything about it. Oh, the monster from the 8-0. That's awesome. Dude, I remember the monster. Pet monster? Okay, and I think we are all the way around back to the start there. Let me load this up real quick. Okay, so let's check out the next part. We are Hasbro Star Wars. Let's see what we come across here. Vintage collection. Ooh, look. Is he posed bad, or is he like terrible articulation? It's got to be just somebody posed him bad, right? Unless is this collection, is it meant to be like really old articulation? It's really hard to tell from these images. I think that's modern. Is that modern articulation? It is, right? I think he's just really badly posed, which is really wild. I like the way that they're dirty, though. That's kind of cool. I don't really care We've got plenty of him. I guess we've got more coming. Okay, cool. That's kind of cool right there. Not that I'm like jumping on it to like see it or anything like that. And I don't think many of these Stormtrooper things or anything is something that I would necessarily be investing in or buying. But it is pretty cool. Is this meant to be old figures? Or like mildly re-articulated? Those are exactly meant to be original type figures. That's actually pretty cool. Not that I would want any of them necessarily. I'm pretty happy with where my Star Wars is. Not that it's complete. There's still some things that I'd like to hunt down, of course. But I'll get to that when I get to that. I'm not like going out of my way for it. But like, this is cool. Okay, because I grew up with some stuff that was very much like this. And I wasn't old enough, you get the idea, for those toys exactly. But I was, like when I very first started getting Star Wars toys, a lot of them actually looked like this because I was given a bunch of Star Wars toys from older kids and they were this. Or like, and even some adults that like gave me their old toys and this is pretty much what they were. And then I used those and I had that Darth Vader, like the head that opened up and you kept the toys in it and whatnot. I had that when I was growing up, and then I moved on to the 90s toys and whatnot that I had. I'm not too worried about a new one of him. That I saw last night went up for pre-orders. That Sigourney Weaver. I have yet to watch the Mandalorian. I'm sorry. I didn't know she was in it. So that like really took me by surprise. And to be fair, there's a lot of shows to watch, guys. I see people that get like, you haven't seen? Yes, I haven't seen. There's 1,000 shows, and I'm sure that I've seen 1,000 things you haven't seen. Like, give me time. I will get to it. I'm in no rush, however. It's not that I don't want to see it. The Mandalorian looks like something that I will honestly enjoy, and I will mildly admit that I'm surprised that it's taking me so long to see it. That's kind of cool. Not that I'm buying any of them. Like Star Wars is not my bread and butter. That, however, catches my attention. Like putting a Watto or whatever on the shelf. I don't know, something. He has a little chance cube. Okay, I admit that speaks enough to me that I would be interested. There's a lot of things like this. I don't collect Star Wars in a way that makes me want like this. It's neat. It's kind of eerie, but like it, and I know what it is. It's one of the cloners and everything like that. But like, it's not something that I plan to put on the shelf. Would I like a Jango Fett? Hard to say. I have a Boba Fett, and I have a deluxe one, and he's really cool, and he came with effects and jetpack and all the kinds of stuff. And I'm probably happy with that. I don't think I really need his clone dad? Clone dad? Dad? I don't know what you would consider him. It's his dad, I guess, sure, but like that you could also, if you're gonna say that, would you say that he's the dad of all the clones? Whatever. I'm not getting into that. That would be kind of cool, but like I said, I don't collect Star Wars in a way where I want to like crowd my shelf with a bunch of stuff. I just don't collect it that way. So like, I like these two here, but do I want them? I know Quinlan Voss. Do I want one on the shelf? Does he matter like that to me? Is young Dooku a cool enough idea that I want it on the shelf? I don't know. I don't know. Now, here's the kicker though. If they do a young version of, would we get a young Qui-Gon to go with him? Is that down the line? Because if that's down the line, I'd buy that. I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's a good head sculpt. I don't I don't know her. I'm going to assume that she's from one of the newer series that I have not watched, because I have not watched a lot of streaming Star Wars. Oh, that's cool. That's from the video game, right? That's from isn't that Jedi Outcast? That's cool. Do I want any of this? Like, see, that's what I'm getting at. Broken helmet, damages. That's cool. Is it cool? Yeah, of course it's cool. But do I need another Darth Vader? Like another Darth Vader? Here's the thing. There's only one Darth Vader you're getting me to buy at this point. One. That's it. There's one. If I was to buy that collector's pack that has the Darth Vader and the Luke and a little bit of the Bespin walk path, and that Vader has a cloth cape with wireframe, okay, you have my attention there. And that's it. I can't imagine myself buying yet another Darth Vader. Do I want Valentine's Day? No. Do I want any of those? Do I want a Greedo? No. A Stormtrooper? Maybe. I remember liking the Snowtroopers. I remember thinking they were really, really cool looking. And some of this stuff is definitely not like stuff that's being revealed. I mean, it's stuff that's being shown off, but stuff that's already... I've seen some of this already on store shelves and whatnot. So it doesn't change what I'm saying, like, but it does bring up the point, like, how far would I go? I don't know. Like, I don't want to bring myself into a situation where I'm collecting that way. I'm not gonna. I don't think anything there necessarily shocks me enough to make me be like, oh, I can't wait to dive back in, more into Star Wars. I don't see it happening. Yeah, I think he may have been posed in a rush due to the Toy Fair picks, and I get that. So let's keep going. So we've looked at Star Wars, Hasbro, Marvel. This is oh no. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Let's see what we've got here, cause oh no. Is that the next movie wave? Arguably the movie wave that's kind of already, pre-order and whatnot. I don't want her. I have a big problem with her, actually. Is there a reason that we got her and we didn't get, like, any faces beyond, like, regular resting face? Like, that seems weak to me. I'm not sure why you wouldn't have given her, like, a screaming or a serious look or something like that. I don't feel like you can do much with her. That really bothered me. Cowboy Deadpool. I'm not a huge Deadpool guy. I'm going to be honest with you. That almost got me originally, this Blade. But if I want a Blade, I think I'd go with the last Blade that was released comic book variant-wise and then move on with my life. I don't think that I would go out of my way to do this Blade, even though it is a very cool Blade. Now, if you want to get the rights and do a 90s, early, like 2000s Blade, Wesley Snipes, if you want to give that toy to me, you've probably got my money there. It is cool. It is a decent likeness. I don't think I would do it. That I would probably do. If I walk in a store and I see the brown suit Wolverine movie variant, that's good enough that it probably gets my money. And then people are like, oh yeah, but you won't have the unmasked head. I don't need it. There's nothing in my life that tells me that I need it right now. That would be cool, and we've already talked about this in another one. Bone Claw, the claws, Deadpool, I don't care. Battle damage, sure. He doesn't catch my attention. Something about this part here, like, I don't think it's enough. I don't think he looks honestly battle damaged. I feel like it's almost a rush job. See, look at that. What's that about? Like, boring face. He's at least got a mild smirk going on or something. It is kind of stupid that they gave us the cowl pulled back and they didn't give us the head. I know everybody's already complained about that, and I know why they're complaining about it, but I'm not worried about it because I'll never really use it. And I have 100 Wolverine heads anyway. I like that they have the dog. That's kind of cool. Okay, there's that Maximum Thor, and we've talked about him. We talked about him in an earlier video recently, and I'm on board for him. I talked about the one problem I have with him. I'm not sure why they wouldn't have given us the spinning hammer. Throg. It's so cool that we're getting Throg. That's so ridiculous. Oh, Professor Hulk. That's what that is, right? Oh, yeah, it says it right there on the box. It says it right on the box, Bill. Professor Hulk. Do I want a Professor Hulk? No. It is cool. It is cool. And it shows a little bit of promise. Does that... I'm trying to look... Do we have a picture of just him? Is that same... Are we still doing that chest thing? Ooh, we're going to have to talk about him soon. No, those are just... Are those regular butterflies? You see my problem here? You see this? Is that just a regular butterfly? I think it is. It doesn't look like it's a deep one. But it looks like it's there. Okay. So, okay. I thought for a second that we were keeping that chest thing that they tested out. I don't need that Hulk. I do love that he's got bunny slippers. That's so ridiculous and fantastic. But I don't need that Hulk. What is this thing down here? Why is that a thing? He's got heavy wash. Good separation. He's classic. He's a mix. He's a mix of classic. He's not exactly classic because I'm looking at the face. This is almost the exact guy we've already got multiple times, though. Like, is he just a painted better thing that's here for some... Why is he here? Does that feel like... Is that just the Walgreens one? Or is it just like a reproduction of the Walgreens one that people never got that now they're giving you a chance to get it? Like, what is that? What is that thing? And yeah, okay. It's all hard plastic. Okay, it's all hard plastic. We're just doing butterflies. Okay. All right. Because I know a lot of people do not like that chest thing. Mine is not giving me any problems, but I'm kind of tired of hearing about it. I'm hoping they don't go back to it. Oh my gosh, they got big Hulk hands. We're fine with that. I don't need big Hulk hands. Like, let's talk about this screen for a second, okay? For a second, let's do a minor update. I bought Falcon. I bought Magic. I bought Daredevil. I admit it. I bought the Spider-Man. Say what you will. I bought the Spider-Man. I'm sorry. They got me. It's unique. I have a couple of photograph ideas for it. It's on my favorite Spider-Man body. It comes with mild battle damage. It has my attention. I'm a spider putz. I will fully admit it. I'll admit to when I have a buying problem, and I'll admit to when I'm buying things because it feels like it's new enough to add to my shelf. Like, I did not buy him, and I did not buy him. I don't have any interest with that. And then we've already known... I think that's cool, but I have no interest in it. I don't need a basic repaint of Iron Spider. I don't even have Iron Spider on my shelf, to be fair. So I'm not too worried about him. That is so sick. That's so good. And I know we already knew about him. I'm not saying that's like just revealed, but it's cool. It is cool, and seeing it right there, like in person, that's really sick. This looks great. Am I getting one? I don't know. If I walk across this thing somewhere, it'd be hard for me to pass it up. I'll admit that. Am I going out of my way to pre-order it? I don't think I am. We'll see what happens. If I run across this guy in the wild, he's going to be nearly impossible to turn down. He's that cool. And I've been fighting with myself about this still. I know we did the video and I talked about it and I said, am I going to? And here's the thing. There's a couple of things about this that I'm liking a lot. They have bloodied weapons. He has a bloodied face. So if I get him, I will then have a bloodied face to put on a more classic variant of Bullseye when I pick up the Bullseye I'm specifically going for. And at the same time, I don't hate that Bullseye, and I really like that Muse. That Muse is so uncomfortably spot on. And all the blood weapons and everything, I think they might have me on this. I really do. I think they got me on this thing. It's good. Okay, and then that's it. That's it for that part. So let me go back out here. Let me pull this up. See people talking here. I was tempted to get Cassandra Nova. I can understand that. But then Dan slipped up and said that they may do a comic version. Ooh, yeah. And I get that, because now that he's opened his mouth, and if that's the way that you see her, then that's the way you'd more like to have her. I get that. I very much do. It's not a new figure. The thing shown, that's from another toy collector who was there to compare. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Because I was looking at that and I was like, why is the thing here? And why is it an old thing? And why does it look like the Walgreens thing? Like, what is that? Okay, that makes a lot more sense to me. That makes a lot more sense to me. So let's keep going. We've done Marvel. Sneak Attack Toys, Denver, Last Dinosaur, Chuck E. Cheese? Okay, let's see what this is. What? Oh, this is just like, okay, none of this. None of this am I freaking out about. I'm not this kind of toy collector. I know a lot of this stuff. I mean, I appreciate some of the history behind it and whatnot, and what we're looking at, and what's kind of coming back in and things like that. And I get why there are people out there that would very much be into this. And I see a couple things that, like, if you caught me in the right goofy mood, maybe, but you would be hard-pressed. See, I don't know. I grew up with Chuck E. Cheese, but not in a way that makes me want a Chuck E. Cheese anywhere near my shelf. Like, I don't know what I'd ever do with that. It serves no purpose for me. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I think we're moving past this one pretty quick, because there's nothing here of note. Bow biters? Holy crap! That's wild. I remember bow biters, man. Okay, the Last Dinosaur. I don't care. It's not me. It wasn't part of my childhood. It's not something that I'm freaking out about. Lace Faces? Is that Elvira? That's Elvira! Okay, so what in the crap? Okay, are those thing slippers? Because I'm going to be honest, I kind of need some new house slippers. That might be just dumb enough for me to want some thing feet, basically. Like, just dumb enough that it actually catches my attention here. Okay, so no comments necessarily on that stuff. I'm not worried about it. Kotobukiya, we'll look at it. I'm not a big Kotobukiya fan necessarily. A lot of the stuff that they do, the way that they do it kind of keeps me off of it usually. Either the way they run their articulation will sometimes bother me, or it's basically like statues and like, yeah. And then they'll handle properties like, I don't have any attachment to like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Beyblades and things like that. Like, sure, I know this, and that's cool, but it's not cool in terms of it being Yu-Gi-Oh! It's cool in terms of being, like this Egyptian cool thing that's a cool character design, but I don't know enough about the show to care. Like, yeah, none of this, like a lot of this is so far removed from, that's crazy. Okay, Pyramid Head. I know Pyramid Head, but once again, not too worried about it. What is with the dot on the face? Bubblehead Nurse? Bubblehead Nurse. What? I mean, I know what that is. I'm looking at it and that, I don't know why there's a gray thing. Whatever. Yeah, okay. Nothing that we need to talk about in that. But I might have something to talk about here real soon because... Okay, so we're here first. We'll start here. Okay, I know the Cowboys of Moo Mesa. I don't care. It's not like a toy line that I follow, so I'm not too worried about any of this stuff that's coming out. RoboForce. I don't really know RoboForce very well. That's kind of wild. That's kind of wild. We're doing like comedian figures? How far will this go? I don't know if I'd want any of it, like, but like that is wild. Oh, I know that toy line. I know that toy line. I've never bought anything from it, but I know it. That's kind of cool. Okay. Okay, I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of stuff here that I'm going to see. Oh, biker mice. I remember the biker mice. I don't buy any biker mice. I'm not about to buy biker mice. So none of this does anything for me. So I think we're skimming through this real fast. That's cool. Power Lords. I don't know Power Lords. Yeah, I don't know it. It's not doing anything for me. More biker mice, none that I necessarily care about. So I think we're actually moving past this toy line. More biker mice. Dang, they are going crazy on the biker mice. Look, if this is something you've had any interest in, though, this is good for you. Like, because the biker mice are actually getting some real attention right now. This could be something that I have to talk about, though. So, let's do it. Nacelle. This company is really trying to get my money. Like, they want it so bad. The Expanse. This is cool. I don't have any real association with The Expanse. I don't watch it. I don't really know much about it. So they're not going to get me on this stuff. It's cool, but they're not going to get me on any of this stuff. But, oh, this could be a real problem for me. This is where I'm having issues. Because they are releasing figures that are just shockingly good. Like, that's good. I mean, there's no other way for me to put it. That's good. Look, Star Trek figures don't get a whole lot of top line figures, like with modern articulation and high good, like, you know, really good head sculpts and things like that. We just don't get this kind of quality. Nacelle is the first time I can think of in a long time that we've had this kind of stuff. And with all the extra things that they give us, like the computer arc and things like that, like that's cool. That's from the animated series. I know that. Is that the first time that's ever been done? It's very possible. Ooh. Okay. See, this is what I've been worried about. This is crazy good. The computer down there, that's really cool. You have the 3D chest, or sorry, 4D chest. That's cool. That's a decent looking Spock, especially at the size and scale and everything that he is. That's a really good looking Spock. And then that thing behind him, that Build-A-Bridge. It does bring up its own problem, though. Seeing it like this gives me an idea of just how big it really is. if you get every single one of these, that, I don't know where you put it. Not that it makes me not want it, but like, what will I do with it? Like, that's not small. That will take major real estate. That could be a shelf in itself. Uhura, looking good. She's got that Type 3 phaser. Ooh, hold on. How far along is she? Can she sit down? Look, if you're going to give me a bridge set, Spock can sit down. I can see it. I can see that he has the legs to sit down. Is that skirt in her way? Is that a kind of material that will get out of her way and allow her to sit down? Because if it doesn't, and you're going to give me a bridge set, she needs to be able to use that bridge set. And sorry, but, and I know she's not finished. I could look right at her and tell you that she's not finished. That's not what they're about to release. But like, that skirt needs to be able to move. She needs to be able to sit, because big part of her job was sitting and doing that part of the job. So I need her to be able to do that. I know she's not a finished figure. We know that. We're looking right at her. We can tell she's not ready. I'm really curious now, though, about her. Because they at least have an idea of where they want her articulation to be. They've got it mapped out for the most part. And if that skirt is in her way and she cannot sit down and she's move inhibited, that could be a real problem. And I have no other basis for comparison with the other figures, because I know these figures you can already pre-order. These are ready to go. So like her skirt is at a point where, you know, because it's not a skirt, it's the dress uniform. It's not going to be in her way. I know that. Like, she's not going to have problems. She should be able to sit in that chair right there. I know that's not her chair. I'm saying she should be able to sit in that chair. So like, I'm looking at what I feel like could be real problems here. Also, now seeing these real close, I still think they look good for the kind of toys that we have gotten from Star Trek in the past. But, like, are these kind of rough? I may need to get one before the bridge comes out. I may need to go out of my way to buy one. See, because right there, that looks really good. That looks really good. And that's the kind of quality that I expect from it, because that looks very, very good. And that's the way I expect the finished figures to be. So maybe these guys aren't as close, because I know you could pre-order them already, but maybe they're not as close to release as I think they are. Because, like, she doesn't look like them. She doesn't look rough. She looks like she's finished. Are the others? Like, are these guys? Because these guys are packaged. That's a fantastic Captain Sulu. Yeah, because these guys look good. Like, he's a little iffy, but he just still looks decent. Parts of it look rough. Like, he looks really good. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna need to get one of these in hand to see like how these really feel. Because I have my concerns. I do. And especially with what they are about to do. Like, if they give us these figures and they're fantastic, then that's great. If they give us these figures and it's rough, then we're in real trouble. And then I still might want that bridge, even if the figures are rough, because I can just repurpose the bridge. I don't know. That bridge is giving me problems. Like I'm telling you, it's giving me problems. Yes, I am live tonight only because of the Toy Fair stuff. We're going to look at some Toy Fair stuff. The Daredevil, Falcon, the Muse, the Bullseye 2-pack, I'm all for, but everything else will be a find in person. I can get that. Mattel DC product, let's see. But the Mattel DC product I am interested in, so I might buy one or two, but not all of them, especially with the release of their collector line. Right, and I'm really hoping I get to see some of that. McFarlane Toys, sports, anime, more. Let's check out, see what this is. I think most of this I'll be thumbing by, to be fair. I'm not a Transformers guy. I'm not a sports guy. Most of this stuff, I can appreciate it for what it is, but it's not me. It's not something that I care about. It's not something that I'm going to be diving into. I will say this, though. Not for me, but for him, he might have something here if he starts doing full articulated, like, sports figures. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I feel like he could cover a gap that doesn't really seem to exist in toys right now. It could do him a lot of favors. Okay, well, we got Demon Slayer stuff. I know that he does the Demon Slayer stuff. I'm not too worried about it. Really, I didn't know he was doing Bleach. I don't care, but I didn't even know he was doing Bleach. Those look really rough, to be fair, too. Like, really rough. Yeah, I don't. What is that? Poppy? Poppy Playtime? Critters? I don't know. No. Nope, don't care. Box people? No, okay. Well, we got through that one pretty quick because there's very little to nothing that I care about in what I just saw there. I do know he's doing Hellboy. I'm interested. Well, here's Spawn and Savage Dragon. Okay. I know he does these little things. I'm sure some people think they're cool. I don't care enough about them. The little... Okay. Look, I'm not saying these things aren't cool. I'm saying I don't know enough about Spawn. Like, we talked a lot about this when I bought that Spawn. Okay? There's a reason I wanted Spawn on the shelf. But I don't have a lot of association with a lot of this stuff to know what it is in a way that would make me buy any of it. Now, I could end up kicking myself in the butt later on if I do start reading a lot of the Spawn, and as I start reading the Omnibus, start figuring out that a lot of this stuff is something that I think is cool enough that I would want to own, and who knows, that could always happen, but for right now, I'm not too worried about it, so this is kind of stuff that I flipped through real quick. Some of the statues are pretty cool, I have to give them that. Okay. Because we knew this was coming, right? I bought that Spawn. I like that Spawn. I like that Spawn a lot, actually. I very much appreciate it. It has its problems here and there. Yes, almost every McFarlane figure does, but that's a good one. That really is a good one from his line. I don't dislike it at all. I think it's very, very well done. Yes, you've shown... Okay. They went with the Savage Dragon with the stash? I didn't see that one coming. I thought he'd be the... Like, that surprises me. I didn't think he'd be the one with the stash. Okay. That one really does take me... I did not see that coming. Silverhawk. I don't know. Did he translate well to being a toy? Does he look rough? Or does he look good? I don't know. Him I'm having trouble with. Because, look, Silverhawk looks really, really cool. Does he look really cool there? Or does the McFarlane figure design not quite work? Is it a pose problem? Could he be posed better and that would make him look... Is the silver not right? I'm having trouble with that one. I really am. I'm going to need to see some promotional art. Need to see that get a little further into production. I'm not going to be buying the Savage Dragon because I don't read Savage Dragon. I'm not going to add stuff to my shelf that I have no real history with necessarily. I mean, I've read some Savage Dragon, but that's about it. I bought that Spawn because I like that Spawn, and I was thinking this Silverhawk would be really cool. He's basically Batman Wolverine with a silver and black color scheme. I mean, that's basically what he was in the comic books, design-wise. So that was always kind of cool to me. Now I'm looking at him here, and I'm like, is that something I would buy? Or does that almost look like a third-party knockoff Wolverine figure? Like, I don't know. That's tough. That one's a little tough on me right now. I'll be honest with you. It is. I'm not sure how to think about that one right now. Let's see. He's doing a new Curse of the Spawn. Shadowhawk, but I get it. There's a lot of hawks. Oh, yeah, it is Shadow. Why do I keep calling him Silverhawk? I even know his name. Whatever. Let's see. McFarlane's Hellboy figure has me very excited because with 1,000 toys, Boss Fight Studios, and now McFarlane, there are options for choices and look. Okay, that is cool. That's a good thing. I was arguing that about the Thundercats stuff. That for the longest time, the only thing that you had was you just had Super 7 and that was it. If you didn't like Super 7, tough. You don't have any other choices. So I really appreciated it when like Mattel got a hold of it and kind of added it to their line of figures from Origins, and they look really good and everything like that, and it actually gave people some buying options. I agree with you. Let's go a little further here. Let's do this. So it looks like we're doing Helldivers, Fallout, Warhammer, Diablo 4, Mortal Kombat Classics, World of Warcraft, Doom, and Hellboy comic series. Okay. I've seen her in person a couple of times. And I keep thinking she looks really cool, and then I keep wondering how she holds up if you take her out of the package. Because I can't help but notice, every time I see her, she seems to be held up by a stand. I see her either in a box or held up by a stand. Is she a problem for herself? Is she like one of those figures that has a balance problem? I don't know. Okay. Fallout characters. I mean, that's cool. I don't play a lot of Fallout, so it doesn't do anything for me. I don't watch Fallout either. So, cool. Really? Helldivers. I always think these look like ODST Halo people. Like, every time I see them, that's what they remind me of. Okay. Sure, Warhammer stuff. I don't play Warhammer or anything like that, so I have no opinions I can give. I can't necessarily get excited about them. This like I skipped on these Mortal Kombat figures. And I know not everybody is opposing champion. Is that the best she can do? Like, is that her? Are they just not great? Or is it the people that pose them that are giving the female figures like a really bad look? And look, you could say what you want about pins and the way McFarlane does his toys and things like that. I get it, okay? But McFarlane toys, especially these kinds, the ones that he's doing, they have a bit of an older feel to them. I don't necessarily think that makes them bad. I think that people are expecting these to be like pinless, brand new age, top-of-the-line figures, and that's not what he's doing. He's keeping very much to a scale of figures that were running about 7-8 years ago. And is that necessarily bad? I don't think it's necessarily bad. I mean, I have more than enough McFarlane figures to tell you that it doesn't bother me the way that it seems to bother other people. Like, some of these ninjas seem like they're getting away with it. Let's be honest, Mortal Kombat really normally isn't the one that takes like crazy dynamic poses. I mean, this is about dun dun dun, you know what I mean? And that's fine. Johnny looks, are those glasses bad? Or they just put on him bad? It could be bad glasses. Does it matter? Is that good? Like, because look at that Sub-Zero right there. He poses just fine for what he is. That's not really that bad. She looks decent enough, and they gave her the face. You can give her the thing. Like, I don't think that that's bad. I think he's got decent enough coloring here, and I like that he's arms. It's going for that, like, Deadly Alliance, I think it was, where his arms started freezing up. I think that's a cool look for him. I don't care about these full ice guys. But I get what they're going for. That's kind of cool. Invisible reptile kind of look and feel. That's not a bad Sub-Zero. It's not a terrible looking Melina if it's something that you're trying to get into. I'm not calling it Storm Arena or Storm Collectors. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to compare them. I'm saying that they're fine for what they are. But I, for the most part, have avoided this line because right now I'm having trouble with the posing of the line. Like, do these pose bad? Because I'm noticing that when he has them set up, they're not doing anything. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That is one of the better things I've seen from this Elite. Every now and then that Elite seems to hit the ground with something that I can go, okay, it's rare enough. There's not a lot of options. It looks pretty good. He's dealing with some stuff like actual fabrics and stuff like that. He's asking $60. I've heard people that have complained about that, and I'm not necessarily one of them that's going to sit here and tell you that $60, that, oh yeah, it's cheap. No, but I am going to tell you that for the size of his figures and what he's putting out, Play Arts Kai is asking like $140, and they're not better. They're basically on par with this. That's something to keep in mind. Like when we crash this toy for being the cost that it is, and I know people might think a certain way when I say something like that, but I have like 7 Play Arts Kais, and I have not been impressed with a single one of them necessarily. I really have not. And then you figure there's a lot of other figures out there that are asking $100, and like, sure, they might not have pins, but they're still dealing with 90-degree arms and 90-degree legs, and like, I'm just saying, I don't know that he's necessarily overpriced for the time we're living in. That's pretty solid. Like, that's pretty solid. It really is. It looks like something with an angular art style that came right off of an actual comic book page. But I have to admit one problem. Does the coat make it feel... Because look, they purposely made him look angular, like he was taken right off of a comic book page. Like he has this weirdness to his chest where it goes down, it's got the hard cut, and then it comes in the bricks and whatnot, and then the big hand and everything. Like, that looks good. That looks very much like an artistic, pulled off the page, kind of an angular, neat design. And then the coat almost seems like does it seem like they would have done themselves a favor by going with like a harder rubber that they could have kept to a design? Because like, shouldn't the coat look dirty? Like, that coat looks very cheap, and it might be the worst part of him. You could probably buy him and take that coat off and use it for something else and maybe get away with it, because that looks like artwork. It looks like it is very inspired by comic book art and designed to look like something pulled off the page. That's cool. That's unique. That's fun. That's good. I actually praise that. I think that looks pretty good. The coat is kind of hurting it, I think. I really do. It's all subjective. Maybe other people are thinking that it's not really a big deal at all, but like, something about it makes me feel like the coat is kind of a problem. Let's see here. Absolutely. That is one for one Hellboy pulled right out of the comics. I see it. Okay, so you're probably kind of sitting there. Yeah, so it's not just me that the coat feels a little funny. Like it almost detracts from what he created, because what he created is solid. That looks like a pretty good Hellboy. I wouldn't say not to buy it because of the coat. I'd tell you probably repurpose that coat to something else. You could probably put it on one of these Ninja Turtles. If I'm being perfectly honest. It might kind of work with them. I don't know how I feel about these yet. I've been seeing them around. I know they're from the IDW comics. They look pretty solid for what it's worth. Their scale isn't awful. But I really don't know how I feel about them yet. That Shredder, I wonder if he would be my entry point. I have Loyal Subject Shredder built like this. And we already talked about him. His leg broke off while I was doing the review and whatnot. But he's that Shredder. If I got that Shredder, compared him to the one that I have on the shelf, it might make my decision as to how I feel about the rest of this line. Like, do I want those? No. I mean, I get what they are. I don't care. I don't want them. But, like, that's not the worst Leonardo I've ever seen by a long shot. I've definitely seen worse turtle figures. The price point isn't terrible. It actually comes with a book. That's kind of cool. Bit gimmicky, and I'm not really going to do anything. I probably won't even keep the book if I'm being honest. The worst part about these turtles, the worst part, and as far as I am concerned, it is a design flaw. Their feet. Their feet are awful. I mean, awful. I'm talking, it's hard to explain how bad the feet are. And you'll notice, like, we got, and I'm not saying that this is a McFarlane thing, but when they took pictures of these figures, they didn't take pictures of the feet. I've seen a lot of these other pictures where they're taking pictures and they're like, I'm not sure why they're not pointing it out like I would. Those don't look as bad. But, like, look at Leonardo's foot right back here. That is a permanent on his tippy toe foot. And you have to swap it out with a flat foot to make him stand up. That's not good design. That is terrible design. Awful design. The way they did the feet on his TMNT line for the first wave is atrocious. I mean, it is really, 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 really bad. I do not have anything good to say about it. I really don't like what they did with that. Let's see. I saw that NECA was doing the Fortnite Ninja Turtles, and they look pretty good. I did hear that. I did hear that NECA was doing that. Okay, we are still on McFarlane, and we're going to go ahead and load up both these McFarlane sections. So these are the statues. These are the McFarlane statues. So, okay, that's kind of cutesy, and it's cool, and it's fine. It's whatever. It's a little knick-knack thing if you like little knick-knack things. I've actually reached a point in my collecting stuff where I don't like these because, like, they tend to take up space on the shelf where, like, that little thing, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but that could be a Marvel Legends or an original G.I. Joe or something standing in its place of a knick-knack that doesn't really do anything other than take up space and kind of look cutesy or one-off, pass by at a glance cool, but not something that, like, really holds meaning for me. It feels like a pop, and I'm not into pops either. Solid Venom statue. For the prices that he's asking, solid Venom statue. Not a terrible Spider-Man statue. Keep in mind, everything I'm talking about comes down to price. It's a pretty solid Carnage. Like, he's not doing bad statue work. He really isn't. Especially for what he's asking. Because he's not asking big money on a lot of these statues. Not for, look, if you get into statues, I don't know who here is into statues, but I'm telling you, like, I've seen some $200 plus statues that look worse than that. I really have. It's not a joke. So, like, look, like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You could get worse statues if you want to put something in the corner. Like, he would be cool if you have like a shelf or a bookcase or something like that. You want a cool statue to put in the corner. Wolverine's your favorite. That's one of your favorite moments with the bone claws. Hey, it'll fill it in, man. These are not bad statues. I've got to give it to him. That's cool too. I think the thing that I'm really liking about his statues is every one of his statues seems to be a genuine comic book moment or cover, and it just works. Like, that is sick. Like, that is sick. That is the comic book cover. That's so cool. Look, his statues aren't bad, man. These are pretty hardcore stylized. But, I mean, I get why they're stylized. I don't want them, necessarily. Keychains, okay. Okay, fine. I get it. I still have not played Rivals. I'm not saying that I have no interest. I've actually almost downloaded it 3 or 4 times because I have a feeling that once I do play it, I'll end up liking it. It looks cool enough, and it looks fun. I'm sure the big thing with me, though, is that if I get into Rivals, mainly what I'll be doing is getting my tail kicked, like, to the point of not having fun. Like, that's what I worry about, if I'm being very honest. That's part of the reason I haven't bought into any of them, is because I have this feeling that if I do, I'm going to get rocked, and then I'm going to get irritated, and then I'm going to not want to play it. And I just don't have a whole lot of time for over-stressors in my life right now. This is cool. I didn't notice that until just now. Do his statues have wireframe capes? So you can decide the level of, like, dynamic you want? That's cool. And pretty unique, actually, for statues at this price point. That's pretty cool. Okay, and let's check this real quick before I move on. One of the things McFarlane... Let me fix this, because I have a thing that came up on my screen. It was blocking part of my comments. There we go. One of the things McFarlane was and is extremely good at, especially back in the day, was the pre-posed, highly detailed Spawn figures. These statues are very much some of his best, in my opinion. Hey, what's going on? Kind of. We're looking through Toy Fair tonight. Okay, let's see. So let's go ahead and go on to the next one. Toy Fair McFarlane. Oh, DC Multiverse. Okay, this is where I have to see some of this stuff for sure. Once again, we talked about this knick-knack stuff. It's good for what it is, but like I'm not a big knick-knack person anymore. It's very much just feels like Space Waster on my shelf anymore. But different people have different spaces, and you may very much like some of these and think, like, if Poison Ivy or whatever, or like these Batmans, or your black and white cool Batman, if that's like your favorite thing and you have a desk and that's what you have as a work desk, these are cool because they fill that little space to get you something cool in your little area. But like for me, where I am and what I currently do with the stuff and the space that I have, these just kind of take space away from like something else that feels like it should go in its place. So I've stepped away pretty hardcore from a lot of this stuff. And I'm actually doing a reevaluation of my statues that I do have, because a lot of my statues are probably going to be leaving as well. Like I don't see a whole lot of point to some of the statue stuff that I've collected over times. The good portion of them are staying, but I've got like 4 or 5 of them that are really on the out at this point. Let's see. That's kind of cool. That Clock King, that Time Master guy back there. I remember him from that episode. I don't remember what he was called or whatever. Is that supposed to be Clock King or whatever? Like, all of this is cool. It very much has the aesthetic of the animated series. He kind of got it down. This stuff is pretty cool. It very much hits that itch for anybody that liked this, like, you know, Super Friends era type of stuff. And I actually have a relative who very much, like, this is what he's into, and he's looking to, like, get as much of this as he can before the line goes dead. Ooh. Are we going to get a closer picture of the... Oh! Hold on, I'm taking a moment. That's okay. I don't. Oh, man. Does he look close enough? I've mentioned this before on the show a couple of times. I liked Brandon as Superman. I thought his suit was fine. It didn't blow my mind, but it was on point enough. I thought that he did a really good job. I thought that the movie didn't do him any favors. But I always felt like, given the chance, he could have had a 5-6 movie run. Like, I felt like he just got it. That he felt right. And they just needed to give him the running start he needed. And I've seen other Supermen who didn't even feel like Superman necessarily get chance after chance. And he got like one shot. And then many years down the road, he got a chance to kind of readapt the character. Do I want that? Because I think there's a real chance I want that. It's not perfect. It's very much got some McFarlane stuff going on with it. There's some heavy reuse here. There's some cutting corners. There's a little bit of cartoony look to the face. Is that going to get better by the time it releases? I don't think so. That looks like final product. That is in box. Maybe it's still got a couple of tweaks, but I don't think so. That looks like an in box. It's here. It's ready to go thing. That is the final version. Is that... They might have me with this. It might be just enough right. I mean, look, I know it's got its problems, but I think they're problems I can overlook. I might want that. When is that coming out? Is that just an old figure on the shelf? I mean, I know they already did that, but like, is there going to be a recolor or something like that? Because I didn't get a chance to get one of those, and even if it's a recolor, if it's still good enough, I actually really liked that. That's one that I want. I don't care about that. I know that Ice is already out on the shelf, so we're just looking at some stuff that's already out. I know he's coming out because there's like a, deluxe theatrical. I want him, absolutely. I want a Heath Joker. It's fantastic. And if I run into the one that has the blood splatter on the apron, I might actually pick up a Professor Pig. Okay. I passed on the duck. I did. And then this is that exaggerated line that he does. I'm not worried about that. All of these are figures that are already out. Yeah, so I'm not too worried about them. That is cool. I mean, that right there, that's really cool. I like that. That redesign of the first appearance, first book, that's really cool. That would be cool to have on your shelf. Like, that's a straight up centerpiece. And then these are pretty solid. Like I said, you got to give it to him, man. He does statues, and he does them well. I actually just got that. I just got that. We talked about it in an earlier video. I got it. So happy with that. We're going to be, when we do get the chance, we're going to be talking about that. I did not buy him, and I actually talked about why. And I just got him, so that's fantastic. Did I? Yeah, I have him. Do I have him? No, I skipped him. That's Mullet. Okay. I didn't want him. Okay. I'm not worried about getting another bat, like, vehicle thing. Look, I've only got the space that I've got, McFarlane. You can't keep throwing gigantic vehicles at me, all right? It's Clock King. Okay. Is there any Brave and the Bold stuff? Brandon Routh Superman. Whoa. I'm kind of surprised he did a figure of him. I kind of am too, if you want the truth of it. Dude, if they do a Kingdom Come Brendan Rolfe Superman, that I need. That I need. Well, thank you. Cloth cape, Bill. Yes. And it looks like wireframe. So, I mean, that's another solid right there. Oh, hey. Samurai Kabuki Joker from the Ninja Batman movie. I did see that in the background there. Yes, you probably... I don't know. Okay. What else do we have going on here? Man, Toy Fair, it's so... There's so friggin' much, man. Oh. Look. I'm not about to... No. None of this will you see entering my collection. I don't need this. I'm 42, guys. I don't presume to know the age of anybody watching my show. But I'm 42. I lived through this nightmare. I was in the classrooms where everybody wore these. I walked down the street where people had these like weird, funny feeling, plasticky, weird, covery suit overall things with like the mask and the one string and the creepy eye holes with the Superman faces and what. I don't need to put that on my shelf. I already lived through that nightmare. I don't need a Grimace thing or weird cutout of Ronald McDonald's, and none of this stuff appeals to me like at all. I know some people really love this McDonald's memorabilia though. I do. I'm dead serious. I actually know people in real life that are really into that stuff. I'm not one of them at all. Okay, we got Elden Ring stuff. Pretty cool. I don't play it enough to like be into it in a way that wants me to have stuff on the shelf, so none of this really does anything for me. The Witcher stuff, also, once again, pretty cool. But I'm going to be honest with you about something. I'm going to tell you something, and a lot of people hear this and then they go, what? I have never played The Witcher 2 or 3. Oh, sorry. Oh, God. Small lie. I've never played 3 at all. I played about 7 hours of The Witcher 1. And was unimpressed. Like that, it's just, look, I'm just saying, I was unimpressed. I'm sorry. Then I played some, very, very little. Like we're talking about the first 40 minutes of Witcher 2. And felt like they made a decent enough increase that I was like, okay, so this is one of those series that got way better as it went. Then I bought the entire final collector's edition thing for the PlayStation 4. And then, I'm dead serious about this. This is wild, okay? I was going to play it. I had every intention of playing it until I got locked out of my PlayStation account. Once I got locked out of my PlayStation account, I couldn't access a lot of the stuff that I owned, and I couldn't download certain things, and I couldn't access certain features. And this made me mad, so I tried to get a hold of the customer service. But then customer service, for some reason, this is a big, long ordeal. This really happened to me. They didn't believe that I was me, so they wouldn't let me back in. And they kept saying to me that there was a PIN on my account. But I never put a PIN on my account back then. There's one now. But there wasn't back then. Back then, they did an update. And the update screwed up something. It signed me out of the account when it updated. And I didn't think that was a big deal. I was just like, I'll just put my password back in. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. And as soon as I put the password in, it said password accepted, and then went to another screen and it said, please enter your PIN. And I was like, oh, it wants me to create one. So I put a PIN in. And it told me, that's not your PIN. To which I said, what are you talking about? Of course it's my PIN. And to which it said, no, it's not. So I got a hold of customer service. And customer service asked me about my PIN. And I was like, I never put a PIN on that account. I don't have a PIN. I don't know what you're talking about. And then they were like, well, there's a PIN on this account. You have to know. And I'm like, no, I don't. I never put a PIN on there. There shouldn't be a PIN anywhere on that account. What is going on? And then they told me that there was a PIN. If I didn't know the PIN and I didn't have certain information, sorry, they can't help me. So they asked me a name on it, and I gave the name. And then because I had made the name for that account so many years ago, I had forgotten whether it was like a hyphen or an underscore, or if it was just like, 2 capital letters, or if there was actually a space at all. And I said it wrong my first time. And this is not a joke. This really happened. Once I said it wrong, they hung up on me. They said, that information is incorrect. And they hung up on me. So I had to call again. And we got back to that same point. And this is like a 3.5 hour process every time. And then we got back to that point, and they asked me a question, and I said, okay, I just went through this with the other guy, and I said that it was like this, and I'm guessing it wasn't because he hung up on me. So I'm guessing it's just spelt like this, and this is the way that it's done. And the guy said, that information is incorrect, and he hung up on me. I'm not even kidding about this. This was a nightmare. So I then tried to go online. And I tried to get on the customer service through the texting, and I did the texting thing. And then the texting thing came back, and they were like, oh, we need you to give us this information. And I was like, here's this information. They were like, okay, there's a PIN on this account. And I was like, oh my God, automated thing. No, there's not. I never put a PIN on that account. If there is a PIN on that account, that's a problem. And then it hung up on me. I'm not even kidding about this. If you were a part of Fandom Night back when this was going on, you would notice that during that time, the guys were giving me crap, and I was constantly being like, I don't care, that's for PlayStation, I don't care about it. Like, I'm not going to play it ever. And this went on for about 2 months, to which finally I just gave up. But I also didn't want to make a new account, so I just stopped signing on. I mean, I couldn't sign on, so I just stopped. And then I stopped playing everything. And then this brand new game, this game that I bought, this brand new Witcher 3 game that I'd set to the side and I was very excited to play, I never even unwrapped it. It's still on my shelf right now. And so then it took 2 years. I wish this was an exaggeration. It took 2 years before they sent me this notice. And it said, hey, we're going to be re-upping your account. And I caught the email or whatever, and I was like, re-upping my account? For what? What? And so I go on, and I'm like, and I replied to their email that, hey, we're going to be automatically deducting you, yada, yada. And I was like, do not auto-deduct. Do not take a payment from this account. I have been signed out for 2 years. You will not help me. Do not take my money. If I see that a transaction has gone through, I will call my bank and I will block you. All of a sudden, I get an email. And this email just says, click this link and you'll be back in your account. All of a sudden, it's fixed. So I go in and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I click it and it says it automatically does like a thing, and it like logs to my phone, and then it says to take my phone and then access the PlayStation Network through my phone. So I then click that link, and then I hit the thing on my phone, and then I load up my PlayStation, which is the first time I'd turned it on in like a year and a half. And then it said, "Oh, scan the barcode or whatever," and I clicked it, and it opened my account. So I have been signed into my account for about 4 months now. I was signed out of it, forced logged out of it for about 2 years. Like, not an exaggeration. And so I have never, ever played The Witcher 3, regardless of how good everybody talks about it being. Like, it's not a thing for me. One day, I will play it, because now I actually have the ability to do so. But yes, for a long time, I was mad about this stuff. Like, about this Witcher stuff. Let's see. Mickey D's doing... Dude, they're cereal box toys now, man. I'm jealous of y'all having these guys. You don't like the Hamburglar Bill? What? I still like Henry Cavill, but they've been messing with him, telling him to hold back his fandom, not go fully into his character. Right, and that's not the... Oh my gosh, that drives me crazy, poor Henry, man. My country just has Ronald and the Living Happy Meals. I'm sorry? Do you like the heavy metal movies or books? Yes. Yes, I do. And I almost bought the heavy metal figures from a loose collector, actually. I never actually read the Witcher books. I didn't read the books yet either. Yet somehow felt hype for the new game for the 2024 Game Awards. Just out of pure pop culture osmosis. I get that. I never played The Witcher 1 or 2, can't speak on them, but I played Witcher 3 and beat it from start to finish and the DLC and loved it. And I've heard that from everybody, that the game is unbelievable. The first game was not. The second game, it seemed fine. The third game must be a big increase. Yes, threatened blockage of money? Yes, sir, fixed immediately. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly how that played out. Oh my gosh. Let's keep moving through these though. Because I was not able to play these. Now I know my buddy Shane, he loves the Assassin's Creed stuff. Like, he loves Assassin's Creed. That's like one of his big things. So, like, I think he would be really into this, but I don't think I've played an Assassin's Creed since Assassin's Creed 2. Like, I think it's been that long. And I know, like, some people go, "Oh my God, why did you take it?" And I'll tell you this, a big thing that happened to me, and I noticed it, I really did. When I started doing all the YouTube and, like, things like that, and, like, especially when I was doing, like, Fandom Night stuff, I lost a lot of video gaming. Like, I have games on my shelf from the Xbox 360 like launch that are still in saran wrap. Like, you know, not saran wrap, but you get they are still wrapped. I've never opened them because I simply had no free time between my kid and my wife and my job and working the overtime and doing the show and being the main editor. And I just didn't have time. Like, so I know there's so much stuff I missed out on that I'm kind of looking forward to getting back to. Okay, a lot of this is going to be passes for me. I don't collect in 1/6 scale. For one, it takes up a lot of space. For two, I know people like Mondo a lot. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm looking at that Spider-Man right there, right? And I hate to do this. I have a toy here from when I was a child. Right here. And I bet that this 1/6 Spider-Man right here has almost, in some cases, the same level of articulation that does. But I bought that Tila from Mondo, and I had certain expectations, and I still really like her. But I noticed that Mondo figures, personally, after I got one, do not feel like $300 figures. So, like, I don't know how to feel about Mondo stuff after buying the Tila. Like, I'm both interested and not interested in most everything they release, because I don't think they're up to the par of the asking price that they're asking for. And no, even now that I'm in the account, there's no pin. Like, it happened after an update. They did an update, it signed me out. I couldn't sign back in, and nobody would help me figure out what the glitch was, and that was just the way that it was. Like, I like how he looks, but I'm sorry. Like, that's probably like a $300 figure. Now, at the same time, Mondo does enough stuff that, like, some of the stuff I am still buying. Like, I bought that Beavis and Butthead. And little things like this, as gimmicky as it is, when else are you going to find an Real Monsters anything for your shelf? Is that worth it? It's $125. I'm going to be honest with you. If we're talking about price alone, almost nothing Mondo makes is worth it. I'm sorry. But if you're talking about nostalgia, if you're talking about a solid looking kind of statuesque figure, like I have the Daria and Jane. They cost me $150. They have multiple arms. They have multiple heads. They have multiple accessories from the show. That is enough for me. That with the fact that I'm only ever going to buy it once, and I have never seen a Daria and Jane in the wild ever, like literally ever in my entire life, I didn't mind it. I paid the money. I also bought the Beavis and Butthead. I'm not saying that they don't find ways to make their stuff, because their stuff is unique, but like, look at action figure wise. That's a 1/6 scale Wolverine. Look at him. Look at him. And tell me that's worth $300. Make me believe it. $230. $230. 1/6 scale. Barely moves. Like this is it. Maybe somebody, you could argue, hastily put it up there or whatever, but your job here is to sell this figure to me. Does that make you want to spend nearly $300? I'm sorry. Like, I don't think that they produce at a level that makes me feel like it's worth the money. And like these guys are different. These guys are looking like they're hitting that modern barbarian figure edge, which, I hate to say this, but look, $95, about $100 figures. I know that a lot of people are going to go, no. But, however, guys, that's $100 Conan. Okay, and it shares a lot of the same features with that. They have almost the exact same knee design. That actually has fuzzy shorts. He doesn't. That thing's hair doesn't get in the way. His does. That has a cloth cape. He doesn't have cloth accessories of any kind. Like, I'm just saying, like, barbarian figures, and I think it's because Barbarian stuff is kind of niche at this point. $100 figures in the Barbarian realm is not that ridiculous, even though I hate to say that, but it's not. These I had to skip on because they were just too much money. Like, I love the idea of the animated Ghostbusters on the shelf, but it was way too much money. I don't have it. So I had to skip it. But yeah, like these are pretty cool. Like 1/6. Once again, you're looking at $300 figures basically. His foot is off. Is there a reason his foot is off? Like, does this feel weird to anybody else that they're showcasing a $500 cat and the foot isn't even on? Like, who's in charge of the booth? Who poses the figures and puts them up? And, like, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm being a little ridiculous about it, but something about it feels weird. That's the Egon that you chose with, like, the black smudge on his head? Like, put your best foot forward, at least. Like, you're asking $100 a figure in some cases here. I can't be the only one that feels weird about that, right? There's a lot of pictures. I don't know. Look, I could be overlooking some stuff and feeling certain ways, but like, it just kind of messes with me a little bit about like, Mondo kind of feels wild to me sometimes. Mondo is just as bad, if not worse, as Hot Toys in my opinion. Only Mondo stuff I'm interested in is those 1/12 scale Motu, He-Man, and Skeletor, but that's just me. I'm not versed well in Motu like you, so I may be speaking from a noob perspective. Honestly, hot take, I don't like Venom with red and blue lines. It looks too tacky to me. No. I get why you say hot take. I don't like when they cell shade or do lighting effects on my figures. I can't stand it. Like, it really bothers me. I don't like it. I'm the kind of person that if I want the light to hit a figure, I live in this like real world with 3D environment all around me because I'm like living in an actual 3D space. I will just let the light reflect off the character, naturally. Like, I don't need you to add light effects to my Venom. I'll just go ahead and like shine a light on him. Thank you. Like, it just bothers me too. I get it. I'm kind of right there with you with that. It's interesting you decided to add red, blue to Venom, but why in that way? It looks distracting. 300? I've seen scalpers more merciful with prices. Okay, honestly, if these guys are 100, the Wolverine needs to be 50. It's because they were trying to replicate the shading and hues, from the animated series things. But I'm not a big fan of that stuff. Have you gotten any Mythic Legions figures? The new wave is just getting shipped with Barbarian figures. No. I am set to test that line very soon. This year, I am testing Mythic Legions. I have a very specific rule. When I want to get into a line, I wait for one figure to catch my attention, and I buy that figure, and it kind of becomes the testing ground, their one chance to get me into the line. That's the reason I usually wait for something that really catches my attention to dive in, because I don't want to just buy a random figure and then have to buy another random one and like test the line 4 or 5 times. I want one thing. That's it. And that's what I want. So like, this year I will be testing that line. This year I will be testing the line for Mythic Legions, and I have pretty high hopes. Hasbro was pretty high on the list. So yes, we did talk about Legends, like Professor Hulk and whatnot. Yes. That Canadian is not better quality than the Barbarian and the Spooky Scary Skeleton Lord, or Movie Motu. Mondo figures aren't really my scene, right? Yeah. I agree with you, Bill. The person who posed the Mondo figures doesn't understand the concept of action figures. I also agree that Mondo 1/6 scale figures seem overpriced for sure. What's showing the alternative foot piece aside from regular figure? I'm used to seeing that with promotional stuff, though I only see it with Fig Arts. I haven't seen it with other toy lines. I missed it. Sorry about that. But yeah, it was way up at the top. So we are on Diamond Select. Okay. Looks like we're looking at Beast Kingdom, Boss Fight Studio, Blitzway, Good Smile Company, Haya Toys, Kotobukiya, Medicom, Joy Toy, Star Ace, and Tokatoko Toys. I probably said a lot of those wrong. We'll figure it out as I get in. So, I don't know that I dig that statue. No, I don't think I like that statue. I don't think I like that statue. Okay. I don't know what line this is, but I'm not sure I'm digging some of this right now. I know what that is. I'm gonna stretch real quick. I gotta do it, guys. Sorry, I'm getting a pressure build. So it's got a lot to do with the chair. I sit in the chair for a long time, and then sometimes it messes with my back, and then that ends up making me move forward, and then that kind of hurts my ribs sometimes. It's time for a new chair. I'm not sure that I love this. Like, I know what it is. It's composite Superman and Batman, and I get that, but like, is this a cheaper line, or... I'm a little confused at why they chose, like, to have all the... Like, why keep that black? You get what I'm asking? Maybe it's the way that they do certain things or whatever. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. But, like, why not make that gray? I don't know. That's pretty good. That's honestly pretty good. That's pretty cool, actually. I love that it goes with the dog. Yes! Ooh, Voltron. You know, I still, to this day, have nothing Voltron. Like nothing at all. And that actually surprises me, because there's been a lot of different lines that have done Voltron, and I've never once dove into a Voltron line. I mean, I don't want anything too extensive, but I would like to have Voltron, you know, just the one robot. Of course, that's, 5 robots, but you get the idea. I'd really like to, actually. Dwarf Mercenary. These are some kind of cool figures. They look like they may be... It doesn't say... Are these like their normal size line, like the 3.5 or 5.5s or whatever? These are the action bodies. This has actually caught my attention a couple times, because there's a couple of customs that I'd like to try, and the fact that they sell bodies and whatnot kind of made me feel like I could get into something and do something like... and then kind of make something myself. But I don't know how serious I am about it realistically. I mean, but in terms of like custom fodder, like trying something out once for yourself, like doing a paint job and stuff like that, and testing a couple ideas. I mean, at $20, if you buy it and you mess it up, it's not a big deal. It's like a good area for you to like try a start with. Figma stuff. I don't know any... I mean, I know what that is. Not bad. to be fair. I'm not jumping on it or anything like that. I've seen some of these. Some of these aren't bad. Like if you wanted Zelda toys, there's not a lot of options, but this is a pretty solid one, to be fair. I know they've done some pretty cool statues and whatnot here. I have seen some of these. That's a pretty cool Guts, to be fair. Like, some of this is cool. I'll admit that. Some of this is very cool. Man, they were really taking pictures on her, weren't they? Okay, that's pretty cool. Super Series. I was curious. I wasn't going to say it out loud, but this is that Haya Toys. Okay. I was wondering if I recognized the articulation scheme, but I didn't want to necessarily, like, say something and then be wrong. This is kind of cool. I'd seen these. I don't know what the reality of me picking anything like this up would be, but it did cross my mind how cool it would be to pick up Contra figures. Like, it's pretty wild, to be honest, just to be able to put two of the Contra guys on there, and like they come with the actual, like, you know, the symbols, like the spread shot and whatnot, and then they actually have like a spread effect and whatnot for the gun. I gotta be honest, it really did cross my mind. I don't have a RoboCop, but I don't necessarily want a RoboCop on the shelf. Not yet. That's not saying that I never want one. I'm saying that I haven't found one yet in person that makes me go, that's the one I'm getting right there. It hasn't happened yet. If I'm being perfectly honest, $115 for that RoboCop seems too much. If I'm being perfectly honest, that doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem right. Maybe if I had it in hand, I would change my mind, but that seems a little overpriced. But, like I said earlier, some of these figures, that's becoming a standard, and I don't love that, but it is becoming a standard. Godzilla stuff. Not too worried about. Oh my gosh, look at all that. I don't have any I have a Godzilla on the shelf. One, and it's that kind of version of Godzilla. It's the very, very early movie stuff, and that's the only one that I have anymore. All my other Godzilla stuff has either been destroyed or it's been lost one way or another for different reasons. See, more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I really don't have I have no interest. It's about right for an anime statue, to be fair. We've seen this stuff. We've seen that at the earlier booths. Oh my gosh. Some of that stuff is really cool. Like, that's cool, but I'm not very big on the wide Batman. I mean, I know that was the art. I'm not standing against it. I'm just not very sold on the wide Batman thing. It's never really been me. That's really cool, and I don't have a Cyborg, but he wouldn't fit any of the other Superman that I have because he's Mafex, and Mafex kind of runs small in scale, so it's not something for me. That Chucky's kind of cool. I also like both of these Terminators. I think they look good. And because I don't have any Terminator stuff on the shelf, that would be solid. Like that Mafex running smaller or larger wouldn't affect anything because, like, it would be the only one and I wouldn't have to worry about comparing it to something else anyway. So I don't think it would be a big problem. That's a cool Poison Ivy. In fact, have we had... Because right now, my biggest DC line is the McFarlane stuff. Have we had any Poison Ivy on the McFarlane line at all? Like, did he do even one? I'm not worried about buying Godzilla stuff, so I'm not even gonna... I'm not gonna put myself through that, where I, like, get myself in trouble because I was looking at a bunch of Godzilla stuff. What? That's wild. Pending a license approval. That's wild. don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, and then we're back to the statues. Okay. So that was Diamond Select. Man, there is so much. This is wild to me. I mean, I know this is a big toy show, but like, wow, there really is a lot. Diamond Select is still around. They're still making figures because there was that whole thing where Diamond Select Marvel action figures were canceled. Diamond is gone. If they were, sorry, if I were to guess, the oddness of Composite Soup's bats is due to it being a prototype. That's very, very possible. That's very, very possible. I'm not really trying, and I'm not trying to like judge these things as if they're final products. I know that we're looking at stuff here in a lot of cases that are like stuff that we're going to be expecting. Netflix Voltron, not bad. Let's see. Boss Fight has some good representation. Yes, it does. Figma Doomslayer. Yeah, I saw that, and I gotta be honest. I think the Doomslayer from McFarlane actually looks better. Hiya Toys is pretty solid. Yes, it definitely can be. Yes, Hiya Toys has done some good work. I agree. Unfortunately, Diamond Select was bought by the owner of NECA, and they fired everyone from Diamond Select and shut down the company. Especially with their kaiju toys, blows Monster Arts out of the water. Those Contra figures are sweet. Dang, that sucks. Not gonna lie, I'd only want RoboCop if I had a T1 or a 2 T800, like put them together like a kind of like a versus type of thing. I only have eyes for Mafex, Jubilee, and Gambit. Mafex has nailed down Jim Lee's art style in figure form. I wouldn't disagree with that at all. Yeah. Nope, Todd never did Ivy once. That really surprises me. Biggest toy fair since 2020. Really? Really? I mean, I can't argue. Like this is huge. Like we got a lot here, man. NECA DC, and it's still just going and going. I did know about these NECA figures coming out. I'm not going to be diving into any of these. Not for any hateful reason or anything. I think these are very much trying to capture a very specific type of collector, and they're not talking to me. Like when I look at her and the way that they did like the goods clothing and whatnot on her, and like with him, like these are not the kind of figures that I collect. So I'm easily able to pass on these NECA specifically. Not that I dislike them at all, just that it's not for me. They're not speaking to me specifically. Though they do look good. I gotta give them that. I'm not 100% sold on that Catwoman, but the Penguin and Batman look really solid, and I could understand anybody that was chasing them down. I really could. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, not 100% sold on that Catwoman, but I could see why somebody else would hunt down the other two. And even though I wouldn't, personally. I don't think it really speaks to me. Something about, I do like that they actually got the nails, because the nails are kind of wild on there. I like that he's got that black crap that's running all down his face and everything, too. Like I said, solid figures, but I'm not really much in this scale for doing like clothed figures, I guess is the best way I could put it. So it's not really something that I would be hunting down. Let's see. Oh, that's kind of cool. Really? Ultimate Launchpad? Is this Super 7? What is this? I don't know. Oh, it says NECA. Okay. I was just curious. Not bad. I like that launch pad. Looks like he has knees. Okay, I was curious about that for a second. I actually think I like all of these, actually. I can't remember the last time I bought anything from DuckTales, but I think I like all of these. And I used to be a real big fan of like the Gizmo Duck thing. I don't know why, but when I was growing up, I really liked Gizmo Duck. I have no clue why. I really don't. Darkwing Duck being my favorite of that concept, though. Sesame Street stuff. I know that this has been selling like crazy. I've seen a lot of people that are like really into this. They love the idea of like buying the old Muppets and whatnot, which is cool. I have no interest in it whatsoever. It doesn't do anything for me. I thought it was wild that they gave the old head. That's the old head, right? Like from back with the original Big Bird. That's because that's like Big Bird as we know him pretty much at this point in time and whatnot. But that's the old head, if I'm not mistaken, which I thought was kind of wild. I thought that was kind of a cool touch. I gotta be honest, even though I'm not 100%, I'm not the kind of person that's gonna buy a whole bunch of this Sesame Street stuff, if any of it. But I think that if I came across that at a good price, realistically, I might be entitled. I might be swayed to buy an Oscar. I'll be perfectly honest. That's cool. Is that just something they made, or are they going to sell a stage thing? Because if they were selling a stage thing, I think this is something they made. I'm seeing like glue and whatnot. It makes me wonder how hard that is to do. Because that's pretty cool. I like this stage thing that they built. Prototypes being shown, of course. Muppets, man. That's cool. You gotta hand it to them, man. Pending license approval. I'd be surprised if they don't get the license approval. I'm being very serious. I would be shocked. Especially with the fact that these are like back on the... Like, this is back on... We're going to call it TV now and everything. So they kind of really need this kind of stuff. Really? A Pee-wee? No. I mean, I know, I get it, but no, I don't think I would be interested to buy anything Pee-wee. Not, yeah, I would be very surprised. Very surprised if you found a reason for me to buy Pee-wee Herman stuff. Only NECA fig I got is the Part 7 Jason from a yard sale. Paid $3 for it. NECA Predator Badlands was the best reveal for me. Okay, I think I'm just about to go on to those, actually. That Catwoman face is haunting. DuckTales, woohoo! I wish, like Scrooge McDuck, we could all jump into a big pile of gold coins. Don't you, though? Don't you? I really like those DuckTales figures. What can I say? I'm a sucker for thick outlines. That is not the old head. It isn't? I thought that looked like the old design. What is that then? What's that head? Now I'm interested because if you know what it is, I'm legitimately interested. Because that I thought for sure that's what that was. It felt like that's what that was. Okay, we've got Predator, Friday the 13th, Dead by Daylight, It, Ghostface, Terrifier. Let's see this stuff. Oh, sweet! Oh, okay. I gotta be honest. I've thought for a while about picking up like at least a Beetlejuice. I never quite decided on one, but like I have thought about it many times. I've never had one. Well, okay. When I was real little, I had a Beetlejuice, but that's a different kind of idea altogether. I love this. Like one of these little yellow suit guys. That would be so cool to have one of those on the shelf. They were like one of my... I really liked them in the movie. I really did. I enjoyed them. That's kind of wild. It would be cool. It would be cool to have at least one. Oh, Monsters! That's actually pretty cool. We got Grandpa and Eddie. Sorry, not Eddie. You know what I meant. I was thinking Eddie because I've actually met and hung out with Eddie before, Eddie Munster. Oh, see, there's these... No, I lived this. I don't need it on my shelf. Oh my God. No. I was in the time. I saw these horrible costumes. I was in the classes where they had them. I don't need to relive it. I wore a couple of them myself. I was Scary Superman. I really like that Frankenstein and Bride 2-pack right down there. I like that a lot. That is cool. Badlands Predator. That is really cool. That's done very well. Bone Bison Army. He's good, man. A lot of these are actually really good, though. Also, a lot of these are pending license approval. But a lot of these that are like pending license approval, like if they don't get it, it'll just be like, hey, change this one minor detail. It'll be something like that. Like a lot of these, you could pretty much guarantee this is what they'll be. I mean, yeah, maybe there'll be slight differences here and there. Pretty cool. Phantom of the Opera right there. That's pretty cool. Predator 2. Oh, crap. That's video game Jason, like NES video game Jason, right? That's actually kind of wild. That's cool. I saw that last night on Big Bad when I saw that. That's the purple Jason is fantastic. Oh, man. Yeah, that's video game Jason. That's cool. What is that? Ooh, these are pretty good, man. I think I've already got a Jason. I've already got the Jason that I like on the shelf, but that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate how cool these are. Pennywise stuff, pretty cool. Look, gotta give it to them. They're doing it right? Oh, I love that with the switch heads and stuff like that. I love that. That's creepy. Yeah, these are good. These are good. You got, look, this. Some of these are really, really cool. Like to the point that it almost makes me wonder if I do need a second Jason. I don't think I do. I think that I've got what I want. I've got what I need. I don't think there's any reason for me to get extras. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Hey, camera, recognize this. Camera, stop. Back up. Okay. Leatherface, that's pretty cool. What? Oh no, I know what you did last summer, little bitty guy over there. That's cool. I don't have a ghost face. I don't know how like in a hurry I am to get a ghost face, but I don't have one right now. It would be something to think about at some point because I mean it is easily a slasher icon at this point. Terrifier. Some of these are pretty cool too. I know my buddy Seth, he really, really likes these Terrifier movies. I think I've only seen like the first two. I don't think I've actually seen Terrifier 3. Oh, what? Oh, that's sick. Iron Maiden figure. That's cool. That is so cool. Okay. Okay, that puts us on the NECA TMNT. This was a big show. Like, look, guys, this was a big show. Looks like the old head to me, too. Okay, so I'm not the only one that thought that? Did you ever watch the Rob Zombie adaptation of The Munsters, Bill? Half of it. I came downstairs one night after editing while my wife was watching it and watched the second half of it. And I don't know if it's just because I missed the first part of it that I couldn't get into it, but I was like, I don't think I like this. But like I said, I haven't seen all of it, so I think I was just kind of like playing catch up with the movie, and that kind of ruined it for me. That Frankenstein and Bride from NECA is limited edition. They will only make about 2,000 pieces, which means Bill will not get one. Seeing that video game Jason reminds me of when I watched the Angry Video Game Nerd Halloween special on that game. The last pending license approval that I remember not getting approved was the Jennifer Lawrence Mystique from Diamond Select that ended up getting canceled as a result. Oh. I wonder what that one was going to look like. It's guys from Fortnite. Okay, we're on Ninja Turtles here. Oh, these ones. Okay, all right. Okay, dude. Oh, is that an Usagi Yojimbo? Ooh, that's like one of the last things I need. I don't have one for the shelf yet. I would love to get an Usagi. That's pretty cool. He looks good. I got to give it to him. This is after, after all these years. I really do think that the 2013 those Ninja Turtles show, that I still feel is the best Ninja Turtles show I've watched. Like out of all of them that I've seen. Oh my gosh. I know what it's from, but wow. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. You know what this actually reminds me of though is if you swap that head, you swap the heads right now, you could almost just recreate that middle-aged Ninja Mutant Turtles or whatever. That there was a skit that they did years ago. Was it Saturday Night Live? Sailor Raphael. Oh, okay, I remember the construction worker. Donatello construction worker, I remember that. Oh my god. That is horrifying. Tuxedo Leonardo. Oh cool, Leatherhead. Ooh, look at him. Look at Ultimate Slash. Holy crap, that's a big dude. Ooh, I see a problem though. Is he built in a way that he actually can't put his arms down? Like can he not do it? I think he has to be like this. I think he's got an actual problem there. Sometimes those chonky ones, though, they can have those kinds of problems. It's literally the way that they're built. I like that Casey. I like that Metalhead. I like the 2013 Metalhead in general, though. And I love that Splinter. He might be my favorite Splinter. Yes! Yes! Dude, I want to tell you something right now. If they would actually sell me that, like that the dumpster with with an Umtron and a broken commando bot and an ice cream kitty and whatnot. Oh, what? No. Dude, that's awesome. It's got Irma. It's got Irma. Dude, okay, this is cool. Dude, I love that display. That is sick. Fortnite Donatello. Okay. I don't play Fortnite, so this is my first time seeing the designs. That's not a bad design. It's not a bad design. It really isn't. Hey, congratulations, Fortnite. You didn't do bad. It's not a bad design for Mikey. Looks like they're all kind of universal with mild things that make them who they are. Got Raph. He got that bandana look. Okay, I don't mind the bandana look. Leo has the liver spots. That's interesting. I guess they all kind of do, but it feels like it's a little more prominent. Maybe because he's got open arms. That's cool. Hey, you didn't do bad. You didn't do bad. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of Fortnite at all. I don't play it at all. But like, I gotta give it to him. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad design. But yes, that's a Yojimbo right down there. That's an Usagi Yojimbo right down there. There he is. That would be cool. That's one of the last things that I need for my turtle shelf to feel like it's to make it feel like it's complete, I guess, is the best way for me to put it. Like I am almost 100% satisfied at this point. Are all Fortnite. I might be in the minority, but I think if NECA made the 2014 Bay movie Turtles, they would be some of the coolest action figures made. The detail, sculpt, and size would be peak. I wouldn't mind seeing their take on it. I wouldn't. Look, it's a toy. Toy designs have I didn't hate that movie. I didn't love that movie. It was passable movie. That's the best I can say. And I've seen it a couple of times. I own it, okay? So to give you an idea, I even went out of my way to buy it. I don't hate it. There are things I didn't like about their design, but at the same time, years ago, I did buy all of the figures from the store, the Playmates. So like, I don't think I would be against seeing what NECA did with them, in all honesty. I think I'm right there with you. I don't think that I wouldn't be sitting here like, oh man, that's what I absolutely want. Don't get me wrong, but like, I don't think I would hate the idea either. Like, I'd be interested to see what they did. Ooh, okay, all right. Some of these we will have already seen, but let's see what we get here. Okay, we got Hellraiser, cool. Each one of these guys looks like they fell face first into a hardware store, so you know they're done right. That's I don't know if it's fine. It's not a terrible statue. That's fine too. I don't know. It's hard for me to explain what I'm going to say here. These statues look fine, but they look a little soulless. Like there's something missing in the design. I don't know how to explain it. He seems pretty good. Yeah, maybe it's the body. Maybe it's down around the hips or something like that. The weird way the legs split or whatever. I don't know. Like, he looks like he's barely holding that knife. Like, he just doesn't have any interest. Like, I'll get you. I'm going to get you. Like, something about it doesn't seem... Like, that's pretty cool jeepers right there. But, like... I don't know. It's very hard to explain. He, I feel, is kind of cooler than a lot of the others that I'm seeing right now, though. Like, something about him, like, looks off or bored or soulless or something. Those look fine. Those look fine. Giant size, 12-inch tall, fully sculpted figures. He talks? Oh no. Oh, that is awesome. Okay. A trash-talking Captain Spaulding is amazing. That is cool. Hellraiser here. Okay, maybe it's the face that made all the difference in this little goofy figure right here, though. Oh, cool! Loomis! I'm not 100%... Like I said, I'm not big on the whole clothes on figures these size, but these are different. These are different. These are about a foot tall. These are like 1/6 scale, basically. These are different. At least I think that's what these are sitting here. And that would be... The clothing on these figures tends to look a lot better. Maybe because of their size. Is that just an effect, or is that removable? Could you take that off and they've sculpted the original actor's face under there? Or is that just an effect? Is that an actual mask on top of a figure? Because if it is, that's wild. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely have to go with the first look over here. Oh, my gosh. Gotta be honest, I've only seen about 2... Oh, it's Starman! Oh. Now available. Oh, no. I have a tradition. Every Halloween, we watch that movie. Like every Halloween, and I try to get everybody involved when we do it. We try to get like the whole crew, every friend. We have like a Halloween party, and we watch that movie. And Tarman, we all love Tarman. That would be cool. If I see that somewhere, I'm going to have to get it. Oh, cool. Yeah, I would love to put Tarman on the shelf, man. Oh, my God. Dude, I would definitely. That's great. That one caught my attention. What? No. No. Like Micro Machines for little murder. That's wild. Oh, I never thought I would see that. I never, ever thought I would see that. That is wild. I can't say that I wouldn't pick a couple of them up, in all honesty. Like, I think there's a very good real chance that I would pick a couple of them up. Oh, man. Those are cool, too, actually. Gremlins! Oh, what? The Goosebumps? No, that's cool. That's cool. Is he a real dummy? Can we actually, is there something in the back of his neck and we can actually make him talk and everything? Because that'd be cool. Gingerbread Men. Oh, Evil Dead stuff. Oh, that's cool. Army of Darkness 5-inch figure collection. Old figures. So, we're talking 4 3-point articulation, very, very limited. But, very much that's what they're designed to be. They're designed to be like old toys. Like, this guy's a 5-point articulation type of thing. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's the thing they're going for, that's cool. And it would keep their price down and kind of make them goofy and cool to, if those toys existed back in the 80s when the show was made. That's actually really cool. Sometimes these toys very much have a merit. Especially if you collect those kinds of toys, that can be very, very cool. Oh, that's wild. Terrifier 3 stuff. I haven't seen Terrifier 3, so I still don't have any Creep Show stuff. Oh, wild. Oh yeah, I've seen a couple of these at Walmart. The classic Toxic Avenger toys that are coming back out. That's actually pretty cool. I personally don't have a whole lot with Toxic Avenger. I want to see that new movie. I saw a preview for it. And that Toxic Avenger 2025 looks fantastic. I really, really, really want to see it now. Oh, that's cool. That's Return right there. No way. See, that's Return of the Living Dead. That's Tarman down here in the corner right here. And then the little barrel that he's in. Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. What are these? True Romance. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Goosebump little figures? Do they actually come with the books? Because if they actually came with the books, that would be cool. I'm going to be honest. I thought about it a couple times. If there was a way, and I don't know if there is there a way to just buy a main full catalog of the original Goosebump books? Because I'm going to be honest, every now and then I get this weird feeling I'd love to go back through and read them again. I'm not looking to be shocked at how well they were written or something like that and be oh man, these were crazy good for their time. But there's enough nostalgia tied up in me that I used to love these so much. And I think I read 42 of them. Because I remember the last one I bought was either 55 or 56, which was The Blob That Ate Everyone. That was the last one of the books that I bought years ago. And I know I didn't have all of them because I had missing gaps. I had 1 and then 3, 5, 6, 7, that kind of thing. Where I would miss one in between because I only had about 42 of them. I remember that specifically because I remember back then I was really trying to get all of them. Oh, that's cool. Comes with the whole set, the table and everything. That's wild. That's wild. Old style toy, a 1980s toy and everything. These are crazy. Delta Force Chuck Norris. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Got a RoboCop from that old toy design. No way. No way. Bitches leave. Cool. Comic book crow. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's so cool. Sometimes I love the way that they bring old toy designs back like that. Like I really do. Some of it is really really cool, and I really appreciate the feeling of something that feels kind of old like that. This was a big toy fair. So many toys, so little toys. More brains. He says, no joke, man. Dude, one of my favorite parts is when they rush the ER, the EMT, and then that one guy gets on the thing and he's like, send more paramedics. He's just like super deep voice, and then one guy's like, send more cops. It's so good. So I love that movie. I love that movie. I'm not joking. It's been a tradition for man, probably well over a decade. We watch Return of the Living Dead. Like we watch it, man. We love it. Oh, not many of these. Let's see. Okay, Thundercats. We've talked about this so many times in the show. I just don't have anything. I don't have anything tied to this. So, like, this is probably something that we'll thumb through pretty dang quick because I don't have. I mean, I guess, sure, he becomes King Lino at some point. That is the next show I'm starting. And I know I've said that over and over and over again. It was between starting G.I. Joe, because I bought a couple of childhood series. And it was between starting G.I. Joe or starting Thundercats. I think the next one I'm going to watch, old childhood show, is going to be Thundercats. I think that I've made that decision now. And I'm just about ready to start it because I just started the two shows that were on my list before that. And one of them I had to watch with my kid. And I had to watch with my kid. And now that I finally got through that, there's one more thing I'm trying to finish with my kid. And then I'm going to move on to my own thing. Silverhawks, I'm not a big Silverhawks guy, but I know a guy at work that really is into Silverhawks. So the idea that there's going to be a bunch more stuff coming out, he's probably really into some of this. He's probably interested in some of this stuff and where it's going to go because he does the Silverhawks thing. I remember that there was a Silverhawks cartoon. And I remember seeing bits and pieces of it. Not like something that I actually kept up with it, but like small bits and pieces of it. That's pretty cool. That's taken from the 2000 series, which is cool. Which don't look like bad figures, by the way. They don't look bad. I'm not in a rush to get them. I love that effect. As far as I am concerned, if you're going to give me nunchucks or something like that, just like I argued with Thor, and he should have had the spinning hammer if you're going to do an ultimate. But like I love this spinning effect here, like the nunchucks and whatnot. We should be getting that every time we get something like nunchucks. You should always get that spinning effect because like you can't do that. You need an effect like that so that you can get it. Yeah, I like these turtles. I'm not running out to get them. I don't need the 2000 turtles on my shelf, to be fair. I've got the turtles I want. Like, it's one of those weird things. I still appreciate and like a lot of this turtle stuff. Like, I like to see it. But I don't know the next turtles that I will be buying. I really don't. I'm very happy. Like, it's weird to have that feeling that they finally released what you wanted and you got it. And now they're going to play Nightmare. Like, they've got to release something absolutely crazy to put more turtles on my shelf. This is actually kind of cool. A very G.I. Joe design Ninja Turtles. Like, what if they'd have come out around this time that toys were basically doing this? That's actually pretty cool. Like, if I was still collecting that scale of stuff, you know, if I was, like, really into those old G.I. Joe toys and whatnot, these would be, like, top-notch. That's cool. I kind of love the gimmicks. No way. What? No way. Oh, that I never expected. What? Okay. Ranger stuff. What am I supposed to be looking at? Blind box action figures. So you just buy this and you don't know exactly what it's going to be, but it's going to be one of these Rangers, and they're all kind of like a... Do they glow in the dark? Are they slightly see-through? Like, what is this about? Can you imagine trying to get all 6 Rangers, but you get like you pick up just this box, and it's just a good luck to you? And look, this is Super 7, so like... No, they don't have a price posted. But like, I can only imagine, like, what if these things are like $10, $15 a box? Now, I know that sounds like I'm highballing real, but like think about like Super 7, man. Super 7 stuff has real prices. Dude, you could buy these and buy these and buy these and never get the Ranger you're looking for. Like, that's almost scary, man. Oh, old Joe figures. That's pretty cool. Like, there's none of these. Like, I don't collect this scale, but I can appreciate the idea of it. Godzilla. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's Shin. Oh my gosh, look at it. Oh. Dude. Dude, that tail is crazy. Am I right? Is that who I thought it was? That's cool. Mothra. Nope, I need to see him. Is that the one that's like, is that the Godzilla that like he's burning, he's going atomic or whatever? Is that the one that's supposed to be? Are we seeing steam come off of him? Is that an effect idea? That's pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, I have a Godzilla on the shelf, and I don't know the next one that I'll be adding. Like, I really don't. It could be a long, long time before I ever put another Godzilla on the shelf. Unless I was to buy that $80 paywall Wonder Woman, then I would end up getting that Godzilla, but that's because I have no choice, not because like I actually wanted to go out of my way and put it on the shelf necessarily. That's not the same argument. They may not look back, but I saw a couple of reviews, and they've been pretty mixed on Super 7 2003 Turtle figures. May not look bad. Okay, that is Shin Godzilla. Okay, I thought so, yeah. Okay, we have... Okay, this is an article, so... Sony license, Sony Games license. Oh, really? Does that mean... God of War collectibles? Oh, hey, that could be cool. New Star Wars pre-orders right before Toy Fair. McFarlane acquires... Okay, I think we're in the point of... these are articles now. Yeah, like stuff that we ended up seeing. So I think we've looked. In terms of what I could find easily, and I'm not saying that's all of it. I'm saying there's a lot here. And we're not done. This has been a day. This has been one day that I'm aware of. Like, because how much is, like, I don't remember. Was it today and tomorrow, or was it Friday? I know, look, I don't think we're done with announcements. I'm almost positive. We're still going to be looking at new stuff even tomorrow. Like, and they've already released and shown so much stuff, and we may have even more announcements coming. And then as soon as, like, Toy Fair, dude, this one is pretty crazy. Like, you got to give it up to them. This one is pretty crazy. I did, before we get out of here, because we have looked we've been looking. In fact, we've been looking enough. We are at 2.5 hours actually. Backup camera. So not terrible, but I did get something, and so it's going to be added to the show. We're not going to do a short. I'm here live right now, so we're just going to point it out. I just added to the Motu Origins. Yes. That is awesome. The sketchbook He-Man. I think, I'm not going to claim to be 100% on this, but isn't this Mark Taylor He-Man? Isn't this the original like artwork, the Mark Taylor design? Isn't that what we're looking at here? The sketchbook He-Man? And then one could argue that's basically Vicron, right? Like, if I was to take the Vicron off the shelf, like, because that's pretty much where they got the idea for Vicron from, like, Classics and Masterverse, is that's what he is, right? Isn't that the Mark Taylor design? I would have to probably look that back up, but I have a feeling I'm right. I could be wrong. I don't claim to be an expert. I just claim to like the material enough to know a good deal about it. That doesn't mean I don't make my own mistakes. I like what I like, and I know what I know, and when I don't know a thing, I don't know a thing, and I can't know everything. That's the way that it is. But I feel like this is the Mark Taylor design, and I really like this. It's very, very Conan the Barbarian inspired, but like, as you could see right here, especially when they include this head, so it can go back to kind of being like an early, it can go as far as being Vicron and or Conan and or He-Man. I really like this figure a lot. Like, the second I saw this on the store shelf, I was like, holy crap, that is good. I love that. So, awesome. That is all. That has been added to the show. I don't know if it's going to make it to the show. I can't just be completely honest to you. I feel like that's one of those things that's so cool that I like it so much that there's a very real chance that I'll just go ahead and open it anyway. Like, not wait, because look, let's be honest about how it works. A lot of the Motu stuff does not get votes. And if I'm going to open it, and that's one that I don't think I want to wait. I don't even want to take the chance that it doesn't get votes. I think I just want to open it. I think I want to see it. So that I may just do it myself. Like, sometimes those episodes happen where I'm like, you know what? I'm opening it. I don't even care. I think that's going to be one of them because he is so cool. That is a fantastic figure. I'm really enjoying this sketchbook series that they did. Like, I really like it. And what is that? What is that? She is amazing. That Evelyn right there. Please give us that. Please give us that. I mean, yeah, this Skeletor too, but please give us that. I want that. Like, I absolutely want that. That looks fantastic. And that would be absolutely fantastic alongside that. It's like, you got to hand it to him, man. I'm really waiting. I think March is when the Conan and the Red Sonja and the Skeleton from Epic Hacks or whatever, when that comes out, I think that's just around the corner. I think that's literally next month. I think March, those figures come out and they're built to that scale. And like, that's when I'm really going to run wild in terms of that scale. I'm going to take a bunch off that shelf that's like just barbarian enough to fit barbarian cliches. And then I'm going to start doing some photography and stuff with that because I have a lot of ideas. And I may have to dip a little bit, go into Mattel and buy a couple of the figures that I passed on. Like the dude that's all in red that has like the mohawk and whatnot. Because like, he's just plain barbarian enough that he will fit anything I want him to be and just be a barbarian. He doesn't necessarily have to be a Motu figure. That kind of idea. And I'm going to need figures like that to do what I want to do. But that is a look at Toy Fair. We are off to an unbelievable start for the start of this year. Yes, a lot of this I am not jumping on, but a lot of this is a lot of this, and that's something to keep in mind too. Look, I just decided to look at everything there was to look at, and other people I'm sure are getting on here and they're looking at like what interests them specifically, so they probably have a very different kind of feeling than I do, because they're talking about like just the Marvel Legends they want to see, just the HasLab and Hasbro stuff that they want to see, just the things, just the Motu stuff, just the Mondo stuff. I just decided, screw it, we're going to look at this whole list, we're going to go through everything that I can find for right now and just check the stuff out. And so yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I don't care about, but that shows you just how big the show is too. Like this. And we're not even done. Like, we're not done. This could be a huge, huge, huge toy year. Give it time. We don't know yet, right? We don't know. But this toy fair feels giant. Like, I mean, I guess they always do, but this one really feels big. So I'm very much interested in seeing what happens now. You know what I mean? Anyways, hey, we took a look. Now I guess we gotta wait to see more. I'm gonna get out of here, guys.